Today, we're going to be talking about how you can pull the refresh schedule of all refreshable items on a capacity directly out of the Microsoft Fabric admin tenant. And we're going to be doing that in this simple, easy to use Microsoft Fabric notebook. So I hope you're excited because I'm going to be showing you how you can find your capacity ID, giving you a quick walkthrough of this code, and then talking about what each column means and represents. But before we do all that, if you could do me a favor and like this video and subscribe, it would mean a lot and let me know that you're enjoying content like this. All right, let's jump in. Okay, let's start off easy and let's first talk about what a capacity is, which I assume you already probably know if you're watching this video. But a Microsoft Fabric capacity is what allows you to run and create objects in Microsoft Fabric using shared compute. You can assign workspaces to a capacity, and you can get a capacity of various sizes by purchasing one from Microsoft. If you go into the admin portal, and then go over here to capacity settings, you'll be able to see all capacities that exist within your tenant. Now, I am on a Microsoft Fabric trial capacity, but that trial capacity still is a capacity. So I can click it right here and it'll bring me to the capacity specific settings. As you can see, I have access to 64 capacity units, which I can use to run and create Microsoft Fabric objects like what I'm about to show you. Now, in order to get you the actual ID of the capacity, you're going to go up here to the URL. And just like a data set where the data set ID is in the URL, when you're clicked onto a capacity, the capacity ID is in the URL right here. So this is the ID of my trial capacity. Now that we have that capacity URL, I'm going to go ahead and create a Microsoft Fabric notebook for us to execute some Python code in against the Microsoft admin APIs. So in order to create a new Microsoft notebook, you click this new item button right here, and then you search for notebook over here, and you simply select notebook. Now, I've already created one for this video demo, and I've named it notebook_1. Now, I'm going to be using semantic link, so that's what I'm doing right here is I'm importing in sempi.fabric as sempi. Then I'm creating a URL or a variable, sorry, not URL, a variable called capacity ID, where I've pasted in the ID of my capacity that I just showed you how to fetch. Then I'm going and setting a URL, and I am using a kind of a dynamic string here to set that URL by inserting in capacity ID in this. And this is the actual API request that we're going to be submitting, which is to the Power BI API, and we're going against capacities, capacity ID, refreshables. I'm then using semantic link to declare a Fabric REST client. Then I'm saying, hey, client, go fetch that URL. And then I am turning the results, which if it returns a 200, it returns positive results, into a data frame by going .json and then selecting value. And that returns all of these columns. And these columns are pretty interesting and contain a lot of really valuable information. And through the magic of movie editing, I've gone ahead and I've posted a markdown definition of what they all mean. Let's talk about what some of the more interesting ones are. So over here, we have refresh schedule, which is what we probably actually wanted when we were running this API. And this is a data object that's going to be talking about when this report is scheduled to refresh. The other is going to be the last refresh, which is going to contain a lot of metadata about the last refresh attempt. So did it fail? Did it succeed? That kind of thing. And then all the other columns are various stats on like how long the refresh takes, when it starts within the last refresh window that happened. So if you can go down here, you'll see that there's a start time and an end time, and that is the start and the end time of the refresh object. Now you might notice that I'm saying object all the time, refreshable object, and that's because even though I'm using this right now to get details around a data set, it will also return details around other refreshable items. So for example, pipelines, notebooks, that kind of thing. Now I'll go ahead and I'll post this Microsoft Fabric notebook on my GitHub, linked down below in the video description. And if you enjoyed this video and just a quick overview of this API, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm thinking I'm going to build a dashboard with some of this data that can be used to display, for example, a refresh schedule. So if that's something that interests you, give this video a thumbs up and, subscribe. Hit the bell icon too, I guess. All right. Thanks for watching.